Hello, and welcome to the Big Idea Center's informational session for the 2026 Big Idea Competition. My name is Jess Malandro, and I am the Assistant Director here at the Big Idea Center, Pitt's Hub for Student Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We're located at 3601 Forbes Avenue in Oakland. That's our physical location. We are open to the public Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we have a Saxby's coffee in our lobby if you want to fuel up. Today, we are actually going to go over details related to this year's competition, including important dates and application requirements, as well as basic logistics related to teams, scoring, and prizes. But before we get into the core content of today's presentation, I did want to make sure to introduce the Big Idea Center team. Again, I'm Jess Malandro. I take care of the organization and implementation of our programs, such as the Big Idea Competition, as well as am responsible for operations related to our physical center space, along with Big Idea Center programs and more. I am joined by Ryan Skelton, Rankin Tran, and our director, Rhonda Schuldt. Throughout the competition, you will typically be hearing from our student program coordinator, Rankin Tran, or myself about competition details, scheduling, and resources. While those are the two names you might see the most, please make sure to keep a lookout for any emails from the people that you see here. If you have any questions about what it is exactly that each of us do, you can visit our website or, just ask. Or if you have any confusion about who to go to for what, you can send me an email and I can get you routed to the right person. We are also joined by four entrepreneurs in residence who I will talk about later on in this presentation. Those are Justin Frankert, Kelly Collier, Joanna Sutton, and our newest EIR. Say hello and a big welcome to Kim Garrett for this year's Big Idea competition. We're excited to have her on board. So, what is the Big Idea Competition? This competition has been around since 2009, and it is one of the reasons that the Big Idea Center exists. As you can see, we share a name. The Big Idea Competition came first, and then the Big Idea Center. Since 2009, the competition has grown to be one of the largest student innovation competitions in the region, and certainly the largest offering of its kind here at Pitt. But it is also unique in that it is at its core an experience-based learning opportunity for all those who choose to participate. So, what does that mean? Well, we provide teams access to our entrepreneurs in residence and learning resources to help you grow through each stage. I'll talk a little bit more about them later. But we want you to receive feedback. We want you to be receptive to feedback. We want you to learn. We want you to grow. And all of the information and resources that we give you at each stage are meant to help you develop further prior to presenting for the $25,000 top prize should you make it that far. All of this is with the express goal of giving you more to walk away with than just money. This is your opportunity to develop as an individual, as an innovator, as a team, and as an idea. I should say now as well that this competition is geared heavily towards teams who come in with existing ideas that they have been working on prior to the time of application. That could be a few weeks or a longer term project, but we do want to make sure that your team has a solid idea of what they would like to work on throughout this experience. A unique aspect to this competition is that it is open to Pitt students of all levels and disciplines. You don't have to be from a particular school to participate. We have had students from medicine, engineering, arts and sciences, business, and more compete in years past. Undergrads will be competing with graduates, PhDs, and postdoc students, but don't let that intimidate you. We also had students from all levels go on to win the whole thing. At the end of the day, this competition is about more than just the money. $25,000 is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. This competition is about you and your ideas and how we can help you achieve your goals long after your time at the University of Pittsburgh is over. We wanted to provide you with a little information on how this year's competition will be administered. There will still be virtual components for some portions of this program. For example, the semifinal round presentation and each round's informational session, those will all be held over Zoom. But we are going to utilize our space along with other campus resources to allow students to interact with our team and judges as we bring back the live pitching element for the final round. The final point of this slide is one that I will continue to emphasize throughout the remainder of this competition. Our primary method of communicating with students throughout the entirety of this competition is through email. It is important if you are going to choose to participate that you are consistently checking your email for messages from Rankin, Ryan, Rhonda, or myself for Zoom meeting links, in-person location updates, competition logistics, pitch scheduling, and more. It is also important that you read each email that you are sent thoroughly. That is my warning to you all now. Success in this competition hinges on the details, and those details will always be in writing, which will be sent to all participating members of your team. Please, 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 please read your emails. Speaking of teams, we need to get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way now. What you see on your screen are the requirements for all teams that wish to participate in the Big Idea competition. These requirements are the same for most of our other competitions. If you participated in the Kuznetsky Innovation Cup in the fall, you are familiar with these points. First, all team members need to be registered with our team. We have two separate forms this year to help organize team information. Your team lead should fill out the idea and team lead application. Again, your team lead should fill out the idea and team lead application. Each additional participating team member who is not the team lead should fill out the individual team member registration form. Both of those forms are on our website, along with instructions on who should complete what. Please make sure to read each form's instructions carefully and let us know if you have questions or are confused by the process. We are here to help you. Rankin, Tran, Ryan, Skelton, or me, all of our emails are listed throughout this presentation. Just send us an email if you are confused at all. But this is important because your application is not considered complete until all participating team members have completed the appropriate forms. We are going to be more strict on this point this year. Read the program page carefully and complete the appropriate form to the best of your ability. This competition is a program built for Pitt students. While we recognize that there is a rich culture of student innovation and entrepreneurship throughout the city of Pittsburgh that we love to see, this particular competition is geared toward teams that are led by University of Pittsburgh students. Teams must be Pitt student founded, meaning the idea should have been founded and driven by a current Pitt student, and they should be Pitt student led. Your team lead must be a currently enrolled Pitt student at the time of the competition. That does not mean that students or other affiliated groups cannot participate. They certainly can assist your team and act as active members of your team, but members of your team that are not currently enrolled Pitt students, that is undergraduate through postdoc, may not present on behalf of your team or win a portion of any potential prizes. If you have any questions about your team or eligibility, please send a member of our team, the Big Idea Center team, an email. We would be happy to clear up any points that you see on the screen right now. A little bit about this year's awards. What you see before you is the breakdown of the prize levels and what you might be able to win. I will leave this up for a moment for you to read. Again, any potential prizes will be split equally among the current Pitt students on your team. This slide contains some very important information for the competition. Should you win any of the cash prizes that were just on the screen, you will need to pay attention to this slide. Save it, come back to it. We'll go over this too as part of our informational sessions, but the money awarded as part of this competition is considered a cash prize to the student innovators on your team. This is not a formal investment in your idea. I will say that again. This is not a formal investment in your idea. Therefore, it cannot be awarded that way to a legal entity or lab. Again, student competition, student prizes for the student innovators. Students, students, students. All awards, will be split evenly among the current Pitt students on your team and cannot be awarded to any other individuals or students that do not fit that description. We do not make exceptions to these rules, so we wanted to make you aware of this now. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. One other stipulation to the prizes is this. First and second prize winning teams are required to participate in the Summer Blast Furnace Accelerator program. This is a virtual program held throughout the summer months and is intended to be a next step to your participation in the Big Idea competition. It is open to all teams by application, but our first and second place teams will need to attend in order to receive the second half of their winnings. The first half will be given to teams upon completion of the competition, the second half upon completion of the Blast Furnace Accelerator program. We have worked very hard to make this program accessible for those working or staying off campus in between the spring and the fall semesters. It is your opportunity to continue your work on your idea in a more in-depth and meaningful way. More information about Blast Furnace will be emailed to teams at a later date. Important competition links. You'll want to visit these locations for more information on the competition as well as the Big Idea Center. I'm going to put these links in the description of the video as well. Remember to write them down or save them for reference, especially as we get closer to the application deadline, which is February 15th. This will be a hard deadline and we do not anticipate any extensions or exceptions to be made. Save this date, February 15th, 2026. Application deadline for the 2026 Big Idea competition. You'll want to go to that Big Idea competition application page, read the information, and make sure to select the appropriate form and complete all of the forms necessary for your team. Let's go over competition dates. These dates are in this info session, but also listed on our competition website and application page. You do not have any excuse to not know these dates or make yourself available for them. The lineup for this year's competition looks a bit different than it did last year. We will have 3 separate phases of the competition, which will involve 2 cuts for teams. Put these in your calendar, especially if you plan on making it to the final round in April. These are dates you will need to be available for. It is a requirement that you have at least one of the current Pitt students on your team, preferably the team lead, present at each of these dates. What you see on your screen now is considered phase 1. This will consist of your initial team application, which is due by midnight on February 15th. Your application does include a 60 to 90-second elevator pitch video submission and short answer questions. The week of February 16th is the application review by our review committee. We are going to bring in a group of guest reviewers to view your team folders and assist us with scoring to select our semifinalists. You will hear if you made it to that semifinal round by the end of the day on February 23rd via email. We will let you know if, for whatever reason, we need to extend this day, but for now, this is when we aim to notify all teams of their status in the competition. Now on to phase 2. If you make it to this stage of the competition, you are considered a semifinalist team. Yay! You've made it past initial application submission and review and are now ready to start thinking about the virtual presentation round. We will have a required informational session on February 25th. Again, save that date. You need to be there. During that info session, we will remind you of some of the points that we've discussed here today and go into more detail about your presentations and what to prepare for the semifinals, along with how to access competition mentors and our group of bench coaches and subject matter experts who are people who will help you work on your idea and grow. The semifinal round itself will take place on March 20th over Zoom. Your team will only be responsible for about 15 to 30 minutes of that day. You'll have a 15-minute time slot that you will schedule with our team. More information will come out about how that is going to work during the week of February 23rd. Teams will hear about whether or not they make it to the next phase on March 23rd. Again, if we need more time, we will let you know, but this is the goal in order to give more time in between when we tell you about a presentation round and when you actually present. An important change to note about this competition versus competitions of the past. This is one of the longest semifinal rounds that we have had for the Big Idea competition. You have about a month to prepare your presentation from when you learn about your acceptance into the semifinal round and when you actually present. This is done on purpose as this competition is not just about winning money. It is about allowing teams an opportunity to develop their ideas, learn from industry professionals, and be better prepared to enter into the innovation ecosystem outside of Pitt. Take advantage of your time, work hard, and prepare a stellar pitch for March 20th. Do well, and you might move on to Phase 3, congratulations, you made it to the final phase of the competition. You are officially considered a finalist team if you received that acceptance email on March 23rd. The first important date you should know is March 25th, which is the mandatory finalist info session, and that will be virtual and take place over Zoom. Again, this date is required, so put it on your calendars. You will receive important information on final round presentation requirements, learn a little bit more about the judging criteria for that round, as well as connect with competition staff about any final questions you have going into the next phase. There is a quick turnaround for the final round, so it is imperative that you attend all competition dates and be prepared to work hard during those weeks. Final presentations will be live and in person on April 10th. We have a few pitch locations. Portions will take place at the Big Idea Center, but we do realize our limitations and will be expanding to other buildings in order to maximize the pitch experience. As with the semifinal round, you do not need to keep the entire day available. You will be selecting a 30-minute pitch slot with our team closer to that date. A specific email on scheduling your final round pitch, as well as scheduling your mandatory one-on-one interview with our director, Rhonda Schuldt, will be going out the week of March 23rd. You will need to be on the lookout for that. Speaking of the one-on-one interview, since I got so excited about the final presentation round that I blew right past it, all finalist teams will be required to meet with Rhonda Schuldt prior to the final presentation round, specifically in the time frame of March 23rd through April 7th. This is an opportunity for our team to gather some final details and evaluate your progress in the competition so far. Again, we know this is all a quick turnaround, and there is a lot, there are a lot of dates that are shoved into a very finite period of time, and that is why we are giving you all of these dates way ahead of time so that you are prepared. If you have any questions about competition dates or the time commitment, please let me know. Again, we want to be transparent about the competition dates so that you can be prepared during the months of February, March, and April. I know this all seems far away now, but trust me, the application deadline will be here before you know it. Before we move on, I need to tell you about how you can find out who won. All teams are invited to join us at our year-end celebration at the Big Idea Center on April 15th, and that is all teams, not just finalist teams. We want to highlight all that the teams and individuals have accomplished in our center throughout the entire academic year. You will have the opportunity to meet with other students involved in our center, engage with industry professionals that support our competition or programs, as well as find out who won each of our prize tiers for the 2026 Big Idea competition. We have a lot to celebrate from 2025 and 2026, and we invite you to this special event to celebrate with us. Save the date, April 15th, 5 o'clock p.m., Big Idea Center, 3601 Forbes Avenue. Now that you have our competition dates, let's talk resources. At the Big Idea Center, we are joined by 4 rotating entrepreneurs in residence. These are industry professionals that provide their time to students who are looking for one-on-one coaching, idea advice, connections, and more. Our entrepreneurs in residence, and I say this a lot because it's true, are one of our greatest resources at the Big Idea Center, and we simply could not do what we do without them. Each of them has their own unique background and set of skills that you can read about by visiting our website. You can see the link up on your screen, and I put it in the description of this video as well. And I mention this for one key reason. Our EIRs will be available for one-on-one appointments throughout the competition. This is in addition to all of the other resources that we are going to be giving you throughout the competition. They are free resources for you to get the most out of this experience. You can go over your pitch or get a second opinion on your revenue model. They can provide guidance on completing effective customer discovery or just be a sounding board for any idea pivots that you may make throughout the competition. Every single one of them has been through this competition countless numbers of times with other teams, so they know what they're talking about. You are strongly, strongly encouraged to meet with one or more of our EIRs throughout the competition. We believe that you need additional opinions in order to be successful. We've seen it time and time again. Teams that are most successful beyond the walls of this competition have and continue to use our EIRs as resources for their team and idea. So, take advantage of this time and their knowledge. The last thing I'll say about this too is that we can typically tell if you have taken advantage of our competition resources or not. There's usually a stark difference between teams that make a concerted effort to learn, are receptive to feedback, and willing to adapt, and those that go it alone. We provide these resources to help you. Please use them. The link on the screen is to our EIR page. Again, I'll put it in the description of this video. Visit the link, read the EIR bios, select one that might be a good fit for your team, or 2, or 3, and make an appointment. What do you have to lose? I quickly glossed over this before, but I did want to mention this point again. This year we have an extended semifinal round followed by a quick sprint to the finals. As such, all semifinalist teams will be given access to a curated list of competition mentors. Those are industry professionals who are keen on supporting student innovators for free, I might add, along with a list of bench coaches and subject matter experts who are individuals who you can call on for some quick advice in specialized fields. We will go over these resources in way more detail during our semifinalist info session. The reason I'm bringing them up now is to illustrate an important point about this competition. It seems like I'm repeating myself, but again, this is important. This competition is about growth. While yes, there are cash prizes, that is not the most important aspect of this competition. We are going to be providing you with valuable access to innovation educational materials, industry contacts, and directed feedback meant to help you shape your idea and grow as an innovator and entrepreneur. Some of the most successful teams that we have seen come through our doors at the Big Idea Center did not win the top prize at any one of our competitions. Some didn't even place, but they took the feedback, took the networking access, and took the time to pivot and grow to make that idea or a future idea something special. And those alums will also tell you to take advantage of the free resources while you are still a student. Again, free. Free is the operative term here. Free resources while you are still a student. This costs a lot of money once you graduate, so take advantage of it now. I promised that I would continue to repeat this specific point. Email is so important throughout this process. Our staff emails are on the screen. You can reach out, ask us questions, or request meetings. We typically have a quick turnaround response time. But the main reason I put those up is so that you know what names look out for in your inbox throughout the competition. Watch out for Ryan Skelton, Jess Malandro, me, Rankin Tran, and Rhonda Schuldt. Important emails will be coming from all of us. You can't schedule a pitch, for example, if you deleted the email. Just saying. And if you are not receiving emails from us, please make sure to check your junk and your spam folders and let us know if those are where the emails are going. We need to know that you are receiving all of the specific competition correspondence from us. This is an important point. We often get questions about intellectual property throughout our competitions. I cannot say much in this format because this type of advice is most effective when discussing the individual needs and concerns of each team. But what I can tell you is this. We are not asking you to give us all of the proprietary information associated with your idea. To be successful in this competition, you need to be able to tell us what you are pitching and why it is important, not how you accomplish this with a secret ingredient or tech component that no one else has. That is your information to protect. So do not disclose your secret sauce. That is our little saying here at the Big Idea Center. If you have any questions about intellectual property and what that means for your team or idea, I highly encourage you to reach out to an entrepreneur in residence or a member of competition staff. We are happy to address these questions on a case by case basis. We do not keep any of this information under wraps, and we want you to ask us if you are concerned. On to the fun stuff. How do you win? Each of our competition rounds will have a group of judges assigned to evaluate the effectiveness of your idea as it relates to important startup and innovation concepts. They will hear your pitch, ask you questions related to what they heard, and score accordingly. The criteria is on the screen in front of you. We want to make this clear at the very beginning. All teams will be asked to present their idea within this framework. You need to be able to talk about your idea and why it is important. We talk about problem and solution all the time in our programs. Describe the problem that exists, what your solution is, and why that solution is necessary to today's market. You need to be able to talk about who your customers are and how you know that those customers exist. Who is going to buy your product or service? The next point is important. What solutions already exist and why is your product or service better than what is readily available to consumers? How do you make money? And last but not least, who are you? Talk about your team and why you are the right people for the job. This competition is about ideas, yes, but it is also about you and your story. Why are you here? Tell us about it. We are so close to the end, but I did want to let you know about the presentation rounds and requirements throughout the competition. Again, this is in an effort to be transparent of what we are asking of you and your team before you even apply. Because of that quick turnaround from the semifinals to the finals this year, you might want to start thinking about your long form pitch early so you are prepared. That's just a quick tip. Upon initial application, again, the deadline is February 15th, you will need to submit a 60 to 90-second elevator pitch of your idea. No slides. You are the one who should be visible. If you have trouble with the submission portal, you can email your video link or file to Rankin Tran at rtran@innovation.pitt.edu. Any applications without an elevator pitch will be considered incomplete, and those teams will not be eligible for the next phase of the competition. Next up, for those who make it to the semifinal round, you will need to prepare a 5-minute presentation with slides for your time slot on March 20th. You will present via Zoom, so make sure that you're aware of how to use that software prior to presenting. Practice, ask us questions, and come prepared to pitch day ready to present and participate in a live question and answer session with judges. Lastly, we have our final round presentations on April 10th. These will be longer time slots, allowing for a longer presentation, 10 minutes instead of 5, and a more in-depth Q&A session. Again, 10 minutes with slides, followed by question and answer with judges. Each of these presentation rounds, you should be sure to utilize the resources at your disposal to prepare. You should meet with entrepreneurs in residence and your competition mentor. You should practice your pitch in front of people who are not on your team, and you should seek out additional resources if you are unsure. Again, telling you this now so that you know of the requirements early and you have time to prepare. Okay, I will take a deep breath. We can all take a moment to absorb everything we just heard. This video recording will be available to you to refer back to. Our competition staff will be available to you as well if you have any questions about what you just saw. All of the important links and contact information that we talked about for the 2026 Big Idea competition is in the description of this video. We try to be as open as possible about each of our competitions. Nothing's a secret. Please send me an email directly if you have any questions about this presentation, the competition, or anything Big Idea Center related. Honestly, reach out. It is better than feeling like you are going through a 2-month competition alone. And with that, we finish today's info session. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me throughout this presentation. We are so excited to host this competition for yet another year and to see what you all have been working on. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us or stop by the Big Idea Center during normal operating hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. See you in February. Hail to Pitt!